Okay, now everyone should be comfortable, have their file folder number in, and be ready to move on to the clock hour submission information. It's going to ask you the date of the CEU activity. So all you have to do is go back into your Google Drive, keep this tab up, go back into your Google Drive and click on your Keynote speaker. And inside of there, it's going to say, let me go back up so you can see it. It's going to say all the information that you need. So remember, we had typed in our name, our file folder number, we saved it into our drive. And if you have a problem finding it again, if you maybe have closed out of your drive, you can just go back into your home page, My Drive, go into your CEU, and you should see your Keynote. Right here is mine, 8/14/17, and you can just open it from in there. So if you closed out, that's how you can go back and find it. All of the information that you need is going to be in this area. On our form, we're going to go back to our form and see exactly what they want. It says they want the date of the activity. It was on August 14th, 2017. It's going to be right on your CEU. Then it says select the category of CEU activity. Normally, the most common ones, it says it right here, are A, B, or C. So you're either going to have those three options to choose from, and occasionally you'll have the other ones. I would say that it would fit under staff development, our Keynote speaker. So I'm going to click on that. Then, as you go down, it says number of clock hours earned. If you look back at our CEU, it states that it was 3.5 hours. So we'll go back into our Google form and we'll type in 3.5 hours. Now it says up here as a reminder that if you have over an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, if it's an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and 30 minutes, whatever, you need to use decimals. So because it's 3 hours, 3.5 hours, I would type in 3.5. Now, here it says description of activity, and limit your description to 100 characters or less. If you go back here, it tells you what your activity was. So improving school climate by building connections with each other and our students. I'm going to highlight that, and then I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to go back into my CEU form, and I'm going to hit paste. Now, all of that is written here. Okay? If it's too much, if you feel that it was too long, you can always shorten it. Here it says mandatory relicensure requirements. If the PDA experience you are submitting meets any of the required areas listed below, please indicate yes for each area met. Now, that's back on our CEU where we had all of these boxes. Now, there were no X's clicked on any of these, so we don't need to click on any of these boxes. It did not talk about suicide prevention or technology or early onset mental illness. Then it says, are you submitting a reflective statement today? We are not submitting a reflective statement. When you need to submit your reflective statement, the reason you check yes there is because then Jessica, when she goes through this, will know to look at the attachments and to make sure that she gets your reflective statement attached with your CEU. You don't need to worry about that with this CEU, so we're going to leave it blank. Then it says file upload. You are going to add your file. Now, if for some reason you decided you did not want to have your CEU inside of our Google folder and you wanted to put it on your desktop, you could always take your CEU, you could do file, and you could download as, and I recommend to download as a PDF, and you could download it onto your desktop, and then you could just upload it on your CEU. We don't need to do that. We're going to go right into our drive, And remember, here's that slick part where, woohoo, we organized it. We're going to click on our CEU file and open it. And inside we'll see 8/14/17 submitted. I wanted to put the date in the front because then I know what I'm looking for. I know it was our first keynote. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on it and then hit select. When I do that, I can see that it's popped up on my screen. I don't have to add anything else. I'm only adding one CEU at a time. I can't do multiple ones. Here I can choose if I want a copy of my responses sent to me. The only responses that I would get is what I have filled out on this page. I'm going to say yes. If it's blue, it says yes. You don't have to do this part. I just wanted to keep a copy of it. Then I'm going to click submit. When I click on submit, it's going to send my Google form off for my CEU submission. Now, that CEU form is in, it's done. I don't have to worry about it. If I go back into my drive and into my CEU file, I can see I have submitted one for my site facilitator meeting this summer. And now I've submitted a second one with my keynote speaker. I have a blank form in my file, but that's only in case I have to create CEUs for site facilitator. Now, if you go back to our Forest Lake CEU page and we click on that folder, that brings us to our Google Documents. Remember, this is the one that gives us all of our CEUs. We're going to click on the year and go back down to Scandia. Julie has uploaded a bunch of CEUs that we will need for this week. You'll see here we have our PD from yesterday or Monday, depends on what day we go through and do the CEU training. So on August 14th, when we did our 3 hours at Scandia, here's the CEU. So you can do the exact same steps with this one. Also, we have a synergy training for this week. We have more our CEU training that I'm doing with you right now. I created, you can see, a CEU form for you, which is here. And it includes your EpiPen and your CEU overview from me. Also, we have another building PD CEU on here. So just remember, if you have training for the district at the district, it's going to be in the district file for your CEUs. If you have training at Scandia, they're going to be in our Scandia file. It's really not that complicated. It's pretty easy to do once you figure it out. You just have to remember to make a copy and to have your file folder number and your renewal date. That will help you get through the whole thing. If you have any questions at all, I would love to help you. Like I said earlier, I'm still learning how to do everything myself, but as much as I can do to help you, I would love to do it. And again, if you need help and I can't help you, Jessica would be the person to ask. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you got a little bit out of this, and I hope I'm helping you to kind of relieve the stress of submitting our CEUs. Thanks again.